didn't have time. That'll take too much time. There are only so many hours in a day. I only get paid for this many hours per day. Why didn't you meet the deadline? Where are you up to with that thing that you said would be done? G'day, it's Andrew here from safetyontap.com. This episode's part of my 2017 end of year challenge. I'm committing to give you 2 weeks of solid advice, reflections and actions to maximise what you learned from 2017 and unleash your greater potential in 2018. I'm sharing one episode every single business day for the 2 weeks leading up to Christmas. So check out episodes 55 to 65. No particular order, any one of them will be great, but together it will help you get much greater value. If you're listening to this at any other time of the year, don't worry, the best time for you to take action on this stuff is always right now. After I recorded this, I realised I might be able to help you a little more by giving you the transcript of this episode plus a worksheet template to help you take action. Visit safetyontap.com/Ep057 for that bonus download. In today's episode, I'll teach you how to find more time in 2018. A lack of time or competing time demands is a common thread in the challenges that I hear from health and safety professionals that I speak to, both as a coach and just in general. Oh, I would have consulted more if I had more time. We really underestimated how much time this would take. One of my all-time most hated phrases is this one. I don't have much time during this session, so I'll go through all my slides fairly quickly. Give me a break. Time is a fixed resource. Once you use it, it's gone forever. So why is it that every single one of us has the exact same amount of hours in a day, and yet some of us are far more effective and more impactful in our jobs than other people? Time is not a problem for everyone, and this is why. You don't need more time, you just need to spend your time more wisely. I've had a lot of email exchanges with listeners over the past few weeks as they start contemplating what 2018 holds, and I posed the question, what will make 2018 a better year for those people? Some of the responses I got revolved around time, needing more of it, using it better, or just that the passing of time in some magical way will actually change things. My top tips to help you find more time all center around one thing, which I suspect will have almost universal relevance to you, irrespective of your location or role or organization or industry, whatever. And it's your inbox. Email is one of the biggest time thieves known to humankind. There are very few people who I know who attribute their effectiveness to an orderly inbox and timely replies. Many of you will listen, who listen to this will come up with all sorts of legitimate sounding objections to what I'm going to suggest. Some of them might be legitimate, but what I want you to ask yourself is, would you be more effective if you spent more time doing something else than in your inbox? If the answer is yes, then it's time to get uncomfortable and make some changes. So here's what I suggest to help you find more time. Stop sending emails. If it's more than a couple of sentences, have a good think about whether this is more suited to a phone call. Often it will be quicker. We're in the game of building trust and relationships, and you don't do that on email, so stop it. And if you use the excuse that you need a record of communication, then I think you're probably more worried about covering your butt. So stop it. Cancel your subscriptions. Health and safety people are great at convincing ourselves that we need to stay up to date. We try and do this with absolutely everything. We sign up for every email service, a newsletter, a subscription thingy that's under the sun. And either we read the lot, most of which won't help us or is irrelevant, or we file them for reading later, which is usually never. I want you to unsubscribe from these. Even if you don't read them, they are visual clutter in your inbox. They take time to file or delete or whatever. Just unsubscribe. If you want to stay up to date, find a hack, like getting a summary email service or having a team member summarize these things for you. Stop reading emails. By that, I mean practice scanning. Look for the pertinent information, anything you absolutely need to know or do. When I challenged someone on this the other day, they agreed that they would search for FYI type emails and delete them. Nothing's going to go drastically wrong if you are brave like he is. Contain your time. Almost nothing these days is urgent that'll be communicated by email. So check your email once or twice a day. Set time aside. Be intentional about how you do that and stop when the time is up. If you're worried about missing something, tell people that for urgent stuff, they need to get you in some other way. Phone or text message. Emojis are optional. Set an example with your emails. Make it easier for people to read your emails by being clear with a good subject line, with a verb, an action word. Please read, for action, decision required. In the body of your email, be short, Describe why you're sending it, what you're talking about, the action required, and any what-if scenarios. And stop replying to emails. If you get an email asking you to do something, like send information or confirmation, don't reply. If you appreciate what someone has sent, sure, say thanks. But unless they require you to do something specific, I don't think many emails need a reply. And you want to organize what's left. After you've done all of those previous tips, you need to organize what's left. The first thing that I suggest is touch it once. Open it, read it, and action it at the same time. And I only want you to do one of a couple of things. Do what it actually asks you to do, or file it or delete it, or delegate it, or schedule it for another time when you can actually do it. You need to be ruthless with how you take your action. And find an alternative to emails. This one will really depend on your context, but you can find alternative things that will achieve the same aim. So if it's about action, use an action planning tool or an app. If it's about information, use a blog or intranet or RSS feeds. If it's about problem solving or discussion, pick up the phone. If it's about collaboration, use a collaboration tool like Google Docs. If it involves more than one person, you might consider a messaging app or a platform, although you need to be aware of those too because they can be time sucks. Whatever it is, be intentional about how you use it and enlist your team to collectively agree on actions like the ones we've suggested. Then you're also engineering your social context to give you a greater chance of succeeding, and the team. Okay, so now it's time for reflection and action. How much time do you actually spend on email every day, every week? How much of that is honestly highly productive? How do you use email? Is it an enabler or is it a burden? Which one of these tips grabbed your attention? What can you implement immediately? Or what do you think you might make a plan to implement in the new year? Don't forget to head over to safetyontap.com/EP057 to get your bonus download, which is the transcript of this episode and a template worksheet to help you take action. Every minute you save doing emails is a minute that you can spend taking more positive, effective, and rewarding action to grow yourself and drastically improve health and safety along the way. See ya.